I would say these stories are funny and easy to read on their surface and good for the short attention span reader, and then hopefully they have more depth hidden in the seams, but never in a way that would get in the way. I really wanted to make something that was first and foremost entertaining, and anything else would just be a bonus. I started out as a writer and actor at the same time on The Office. I was doing stand-up comedy, and Greg Daniels, who was the creator of the show, saw me and he told me afterwards he liked the pauses between my jokes. He liked sort of the type of mind that would had some kind of confidence, arrogance, but also humility, and he said a lot of really nice things, is the point. But he liked my energy between the jokes, he said, as much as my jokes, and asked if he could see my writing as well, and he always wanted writer-actors on the show. So I was both the whole time. My work with The Office is extremely influential to my story writing, because on The Office we felt that all comedy should come from the same place that all drama comes from, which is just truth and naturalness and respect for the characters. So I wanted to write something that felt like you'd never feel uncomfortable if it went in a more deep or sincere or romantic direction, and you'd never feel uncomfortable if it took an extremely comedic turn. It would all feel like the same thing. That's a zone that at our best on The Office we always had. The other thing I learned from The Office was that you should always be entertaining and funny and fun first, and any other depth should come under that. You fail at your job, in my opinion, as an entertainer if you don't seduce people with just the pure entertainment value. So I always start with that and then try to add layers underneath it, rather than vice versa. The inspiration for my stories usually comes from a single idea that makes me smile and makes me think, I wonder if anyone's ever, am I crazy, or is this a good idea? And then that idea will spiral into something that I put more personality, I could have said personal stuff, personality or personal issues into. Really, absolutely anything that strikes me as odd, and I wonder if I'm alone in thinking that's odd. Favorites change. I really love a story called Sophia. I really love the longer stories especially. There's a story called The Ambulance Driver that no one has yet told me is their favorite story, but I really love it. It's very subtly dark, and so maybe someday someone will say they like that one too. Sometimes I describe my book as, imagine if George Saunders weren't a genius. I think I aspire to a lot of really great literature, but have enough humility to know that my job is first and foremost to be an entertainer. So people like that, or David Foster Wallace, or Terry Southern was very big for me growing up. Very people who have a real ironic voice that is trying to get at something that it very truthfully matters to their heart. Those are the people I aspire to be like. I would say that Simon Rich is a contemporary of mine who I really love for his comedy writing. Philip Roth is someone that I could never be, but loved his values as a writer. If I weren't a writer, producer, actor, comedian, I would be an actor, comedian, writer, producer. And I almost went that way. Writing this book was the easiest thing I ever did, or so it felt. I actually worked harder on it than anything, but it felt like I was indulging my obsession rather than doing work. So I hope everything I do has that feeling. Discussion questions. Did you think the book was funny? Why or why not? Did you flip through the book and read the shortest stories first? The author does that too. What is quantum non-locality? Be concise. Do you think discussion questions can be unfairly leading sometimes? Why? Who are we supposed to be discussing these questions with? Do you normally have discussions in response to a question that was posed by a person not participating in the discussion? Why or why not? Do you think why not is ultimately a better question than why? Why or why not?